we've covered the best Tech 1 Caldari ships. What about Tech 2s? Yes, the best ships in EVE Online. If you want the best EVE guides, you came to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE enjoyer for the better part of 10 years now. And this was our Tech 1 tier list for most usable Caldari ships, most approachable, most get-inable. Pause. The point is, S is you will fly the ship. It is almost a mandatory for most, if not all players. A is very good. Most players going to fly it, but not as used as S. Let me get a different color on my pencil here. B is situational. You're probably going to use it, but it's like you might use it, okay? C, very situational. You might never use it, but it's still good ship. D is like use it briefly and then stop doing it again. Okay, so we've got a tier 1 list for this ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to move all of these down here because it is difficult for us to find ships on this list because it's so freaking long. And instead of going through this and finding stuff, let's do this for Tech 2s. And if it has the Tech 1 base, we're just going to call it the Tech 2 base. So right out of the gate, we're just going to keep the Tech 2 haulers in S tier. We're going to start this off with Caldari ships, Tech 2 haulers. These are S tier. You will use these. Every single time we make these videos, you need to understand every person under the sound of my voice must fly Tech 2 hauling ships, even if you are not a hauler specific. The big freighters, you almost never need to get into. This is like a very niche style of gameplay. These are capital ships. Do not worry about getting into those, but every single person must fly either the blockade runner, which is stealthy and cloaky, or the deep space transport, which is tanky and holds more cargo. So Crane, Bustard. Bustard is S tier ship. The Crane, better than the Bustard. Get it first. It's more usable, in my opinion, for the layman, for the everyman. So right out of the gate, right there, both these ships are gross. Ew, they're fantastic. Check them out. Get it done first. Tech 2 ships coming in. All right, y'all. We'll start with these Interceptors. We got the Crow and we got the Raptor. So what the heck is an interceptor? Interceptors, in a phrase, are light tackle. These ships are meant to get fast. They get really close to you and they lock you down and do decent amount of DPS. You can see the Crow is an interceptor that has a bonus to it's hard to lock this puppy down because it can't be nullified. You can't bubble this ship. It's going to get to you. Bonus to warp speed and acceleration. My Corp calls this ship the vibe check ship because if you are at a Celestial and you are this little ship right here and there's a like station over here, let's say another ship is here and starts warping to this station, because you get a bonus to warp speed and acceleration, you warp faster, arrive sooner, and are ready with a waiting net for this person to land, and you can take them out. So this ship is a fast ship, not just on grid, but warping around, and is the ship that will catch things and do some decent DPS. The other thing here is the Raptor. Slight difference. This is better at hybrid turrets, and the other one is better at missiles. So which one is better for this? Well, I can tell you this. When we go back to the tier list here, we've got one of these is going to be the Raptor. The other one's going to be the other one. Which, let me see if I can quickly find the second one, because, and if you see a chat, just let me know, because it is tough. It is tough down here. And there it is. There's too many EVE ships. All right. We've got this first one is the Crow. Now, this one is 26 million ISK. This one is 23 million ISK. The difference between the two is a couple things. This one has better micro warp drive and your scram range is better. Okay. That's this. This one has shield resistance and your micro warp drive is not helping you to be locked as much. This is the weaker ship. The Raptor is the weaker ship. It does more damage. It's better at kiting and popping stuff. The Crow is the warp scrambler range is a disgusting perk to get, really, really nasty. And this is going to be the more used ship. And check, can we talk about this too? This is one of the best looking ships in EVE. Dadgum, fighter jet, Maverick, Top Gun style, coming in, never tell me the odds kind of ship. How should we rate this? Light tackle is a role. It's not something everybody's going to do, but it is something that you should think about as a guaranteed, think about it like this. If you can light tackle, you basically have a guaranteed rage spot, guaranteed fleet spot. So definitely the Crow, I'm going to put to an A, solid A. If you like this kind of playstyle, it's something you would do. I'm going to put the other one to a B, simply because the Raptor is more DPS focused and the role here is catch stuff. The Raptor is a really good solo PvP ship versus the Crow is your like fleet. It's got more use cases in my opinion. They're both great, and they will, as you're right, Uther, they will wreck people, but I think the Crow is the more usable ship. That is your Interceptor tier here. If you want to get into a cheap, effective PvP strategy, it's Frigates, it's Interceptors. The body is only 24 million-esque. It's really easy, really easy. So, all right, Assault Frigates. Hawk, my love. You know we just put out videos about the Hawk and Abyss, both in group and multi-box, okay? And then the Harpy, very similar. You're going to see a lot of Caldari is missiles or guns. That's the same kind of motif here. Let's go find them on this and see what we've got. Okay, we're looking. Is this, that's the Merlin, right? This is, but we're going to act like it's a Hawk. Okay, and there it is. Both of them are right here. So let's talk about the Hawk first. The Hawk is a machine. You can do PvP. You can do Abyss. You can do, technically, you can do hauling with any of these frigates, by the way. You could, especially, this is a good point, actually. In an Interceptor, let me go back a step. In an Interceptor, you can also do hauling. This is my hauling. This is my Travel Ares. Now, this is not a Caldari ship, but this is the Crow to the Ares is the same kind of ship. This is the Galente version, okay? This is a ship that goes 15 AU with a sub 2 align. If you want to get from A to B fast, getting a 45 million-esque Interceptor that just goes from A to B, you're going to be able to move your pods very fast, and you get what you pay for with this 15 AU gross. Kind of nasty. So that's just a back step. Let's keep talking about Assault Frigates. Okay. And fair enough, Gunlink. Fair enough. Exactly. So Assault Frigates, the Hawk and the Harpy. The Hawk can do so much. The Hawk is Abyss. It's Abyss King. PvP. And these ships, they don't have as much gas. They're not as fast as the Interceptors. But what they don't have in speed, they make up for in muscle. This thing is not just a DPS machine. It has tank boosts and can fit assault damage controls. What's that? An assault damage control is a special damage control that it gives you a base amount. Look right here. Look right here. It gives you a base amount of EHP. We're at 551. You click it. You unclick it. We're at 44. Just by having it equipped on the Hawk, you gain about 1,000 EHP. You activate this, your resists go to 90% and change. This is a temporary buff giving you 75% resists. It is an oh crap button that you can click when the tough gets toughing. Okay, and this is only fittable on assault frigates, and yes, on heavy assault cruisers. We're going to get to that. Okay, so the Hawk is a tanking behemoth. You can do so much with this, and our tier list is about accessibility. I'm giving the Hawk a solid A. I might even give it an S. I'm going to give it an S. Below the Tech2 haulers, because everybody and their mother is going to use a Tech2 hauler. The Hawk is going to be dependent on how much you like Abyss. Spoilers, we're doing hundreds of millions of ISK an hour with our solo and multi-box Hawk. Check those guides out. Enjoy it. Okay, thanks for that. Let's talk about the Harpy. Now, the Harpy is very similar. But you'll notice the Harpy has DPS, just shield resistance. This is technically the weaker module. The Hawk has shields booster amount. So this is big deal versus shield resistance. You just take less damage, but it's not as strong. Okay, this is just as tanky, just as good, but it's not as used. This is again more of a fleet ship. You can still definitely do stuff with the Harpy, but it's used a little bit less than the Hawk, and because of that, I am going to give it a solid B. And I'm going to put this slightly above the gun Interceptor. I forget what its name is. Is that the Raptor? The Raptor. Yes, I'm going to put it slightly above. Hawk has bigger spinny missiles, which makes it better. There, chat, there it is. The Hawk has this. These are not so spinny right here. which makes it better. Okay, so the Harpy is a slightly less used than the Hawk just because of its guns are harder to apply. So this is missiles. This is guns. Missiles are easier to apply. Guns are harder to apply. When done right, they do more damage, but harder to do. This one can do Abyss. This one can do Abyss too, but it's like harder to do it. See what I'm saying? This is objectively the easier to fly ship. That's our list. What's easier to get into? That's how we do this. Okay, so what's like, keep us going. We've arrived. We've arrived at the Buzzard, ladies and gentlemen. A Buzzard. This is the spookiest ship on your D-scan. A covert ops cloak. Scanning machine. Warp fast. Bonus to hacking. Warps fast. This was a recent buff that this ship, a homogenized warp speed. The Buzzard warps at a base 10 AU, 9 AU. And it can drop covert sinos. This ship is the initiator for many a Yeet fleet. And when you see a Buzzard, you immediately lock in. It could be there just scanning stuff down. Just, it's really great at scanning. It is one of the most used ships in the game. But it also could be the scout for the literal cap fleet behind them, and they're calling for your kill mail. Where do we put the Buzzard? This is an S tier ship. Will everybody use it? I think less people will use this than the assault frigate, than the Hawk, because the Buzzard is scanning, hacking, hacking and scouting, right? And like PvP, okay? The Hawk does like these already, okay? And Abyss and faction warfare. I don't know what's up with my F right there. The Hawk does more. You can use it in more places. So we're gonna put the Hawk above the Buzzard. With that said, the Buzzard is just one of those ships, man. The Buzzard is that dude. The Buzzard's that ship, okay? It's really awesome. It's sick. I always assume worst intent with the Buzzards. Yes. Buzzard, great ship. Most people are going to use it. One of the best ships in the game, in my opinion, but not as good as the Hawk. So, the Manticore. This is our first stealth bomber. The stealth bomber has torpedoes. These are battleship level modules on a frigate, and is the only ship in the game, a stealth bomber, that can do bombs. That's the thing about these pineapples. They're bombs at the bomb store. Bombers are some of the most loved ships in the game, and it might be the best looking stealth bomber in the game. It just looks spooky, Okay, I love me the Nemesis. I do love me the Nemesis. Good old large lad. Manticore is a good looking ship, especially with the recent buff to it. It can do covert ops cloak. It can also be a Sino ship. And it is the only ship in the game that can fit bombs. Bombs are fire and forget devices that, how if you lock on something, all of your stuff is going to automatically go towards that. A bomb, you literally have to aim your ship. And if you aim wrong, if you aim it over here, it's not going to hit your target. You have to actually aim true. When you watched our co-stream with Crash Naps, you were seeing a lot of stealth bombers uncloak, drop a bomb, recloak, because they do a ton of damage to you. And bombs can also hit your friends. This bombing runs are some of the most fun you could have in PvP because you're made of paper and your kill potential is at its maximum. These are some of the most fun ships you can fly in the game for sure. It can fly battleship level modules because of its power grid requirements on its roll bonuses. So again, torpedoes are battleship level, and because it gets this lovely roll bonus, you can fit these on a frigate. Really, really cool. I would, as an aside, CCP Games, I would love to see more ships that do something like this, that fit like a certain kind of module on a downsized ship. I'd love to see some more of that. So, and this is a good point. This is a slept on buff. The cloak reactivation delay is 15 seconds instead of 30 seconds. So you can recloak more often. And there's no targeting delay after you deactivate your cloak. On every other ship, if you're invisible and you come back to the land of the living, you can't target things immediately. You have to wait a couple seconds. That precious couple seconds means that people could get away. With the stealth bomber, the moment they uncloak, they start punching. They wake up and choose violence. Okay, let's talk about spooky ships. That's the Manticore, baby. There's a reason why I have covert ops to 5, ladies and gentlemen. A fave of you boys, an absolute fave. Okay, where do we put the Manticore? First, we have to find the daggum ship. Where are you? Where is it? We have to find it, chat. What the heck, dude? I see a griffin. If you see it, chat, let me know. I'm looking for blue backgrounds. Blue backgrounds. What the heck? Chat, where's our boy? Look what they've done to my boy. I see a Rhea. I see an Orthros, a Garmer. I see a Banthams, Tech2. I'll put the Tech2 Bantham right here because, you know, you already know what it is. Is it up here? Did I mess this up? There's a Kestrel. It's technically the Kestrel platform. So it's technically a bigger Kestrel if you really think about it. So use the search, that red corner. Are you telling me there's a search this whole time? If I just control S and I type Manticore, is it going to find something? No, there is not. You lied to me. You lied to me. Top left, you have it. It's right there. It's literally on this thing. Okay, thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you for that. He lied to me. It's in the new menu. There it is. So Manticore. Should everybody fly a stealth bomber? I got to tell you, it's going to be like high B because it's an incredible ship, but not everybody's going to fly it. I'm going to put it to lower A because a fast tackle Raptor Crow. Look, the Crow is going to be better for fleet ops, technically speaking. No, you know what? These are both usable in fleet ops. I'm remembering that my Corp does bombing runs all the freaking time. Yeah, you can do 1k damage. Yes. And you can use it in PvE range ships too. I'm going to put it in A. It's a really great ship. A lot of people can do it. If not, it's like a high B, but I still think it should go in A because it's more usable. It's just a great ship, and I think everybody should try it at the very least if you have it. Okay, so, all right. Electronic attack ship. The Kitsune. This is the large ACM ship. This is a very, very niche ship. It does the most jamming, and it is a fantastic PvE ship. Where should you put it? This is a solid C. It's very situational. We literally don't have to look at anything else. This is a very situational fleet op ship. It is purely designed to, there's a guy over there. I don't want him to lock anything. That's what this ship does. It's a great ship, but it's very situational and not everybody is going to fly it. Electronic attack ships are like that. A solid C. Nothing else needs to be said about it. Let's just keep it going, okay? The Kirin. Now, I talked to you about how the Bantham is really not worth it because of its made of paperness. The Kirin at 26 million ISK, it gets a bonus to remote shield fall off. This can be, you can really heal the stuff at range with the Kirin. And this is one of the first Logi ships that I got to fly. Okay, and if we put a small one in here, you can see we can heal within 36. That's a long ways away. That's a thick door. You can heal, and if you heat it, you heal faster, okay? So, and 128 HP, this is a long ways away, and that's without any rigs or anything like that, so you can really be in the back line with the ship and heal up your stuff, and it gets, it really is just like an easy ship to heal in because of all of these bonuses. So super simple. Check it out. Friglogy. Friglogy is MVP. Another one of those that if you are trying to get a guaranteed fleet spot, getting the Friglogy shed is going to help you a lot. I'm going to put this in an upper at the top of B because you should have Logi in your back pocket. But not everybody's going to fly this because Logi is a certain play style. You literally heal up your people. You can only Logi with this ship. You can't do other stuff with it. I'm actually thinking about putting it to low B because if this is a usability list, you can haul in the Raptor, in the Harpy. You can do PvE, PvP. The Kirin is just heal sometimes. So let's put it to lower B because it's situational, not C, but still situational. So, okay. That, I believe, is all of our Tech2 frigates. Let's see what else we have for the good old-fashioned the destroyers. I'm going to start with the Jackdaw. We're going to do T3s here too. The Jackdaw is a weird platform. T3 destroyers are in a league of their own. They are special ships that have stances. If you're familiar with other MMOs, they're the only ship in the game that does this. You see we have defensive mode, sharpshooter mode, propulsion mode. And they actually change look depending on stuff. Look at this. If I go to sharpshooter mode, you're going to see it literally opens up and starts doing stuff. I love this. I love how this looks. And if you go to propulsion mode, it does the same. It like tucks its stuff in. Yeah. So it looks really, really cool. You get this nice like I am pointy kind of thing. Really sick. They're very fun. There's a lot of use cases for T3 cruisers. We're going to have entire segments covering T3 cruisers. They are that usable. They can do almost anything. Hauling, PvE, PvP, scanning, wormholes, nullsec, potchfin. I don't think you can you take it into the abyss? You can, right? Abyss. You can do most of the game with T3 destroyers. Can you do abyss? I thought you could. Yes, I can. There's a reason why I have rank 4 Hecate. I love me some Hecate, chat. Flying Wing. My love. So Jackdaw, incredible ship. It does look like a fish. Yes, you can do T3 cruisers, correct. So where does the Jackdaw go on this list? The Jackdaw is the highest S I can put. It is the number 1. T3 destroyers. The only thing that's going to do better than this, you already know what I'm going to say, chat. Okay, so and I'm not saying which T3 destroyer is better. You're right, Lord Luck. There's also the Confessor on the Amar side. Or just doing Caldari ships. You can do so much with the Jackdaw. It is worth getting into. Get you to rank 4. My Hecate is rank 4. My Jackdaw is rank 4 too. Look for those guides, okay? Look for those. The Stork is a PvP. You see a Stork, you go, it's going to be a tough fight. First of all, one of the best looking ships in the game, in my opinion. I love the platform that this looks like. I don't know how to describe it. It just looks real solid. I love the angularness of it. I love how the engines are like on the side of it. It looks like a knife cutting through butter. And boy, are you gonna do that with the enemy fleet, because command destroyers can use, yes, they can use defender launchers with defend against bombs. That's not nothing. It's a very niche thing, but we're gonna gloss over it because it's good. You can use command bursts. You can fleet link and give buffs to your thing. So PvP, check. Command bursts, check. You can help people out with those. And you can use micro jump field generators. This is a blip that gets you and 24 nearby ships and blips you 100 km forward. If a Stork is micro driving to you, they will boosh you. That's what EU players call it. They will boosh your fleet from where you are somewhere else, putting you out of position, letting your fleet get picked apart. Booshing can be done offensively and defensively, typically done offensively against marauders. And the booshing is an advanced PvP tactic with the combination of the booshing with the command links and decent damage and good tanky. This is one of the best FC ships or one of the best initiator ships in the game. This ship is used in most endgame PvP stuff. Where are we going to put the Stork? I'm going to give this usability. It's got to be highest B possible because it's really only for PvP. We're going to do, can you take the Stork into the abyss? We're going to look. I'm going to do that content. Thanks for using my code. Bless you. That was a big one too. Sheesh, thank you. So looks like a canoe. It really does. So I'm going to see what else you could do with this, but typically the Stork is just for PvP. It's situational enough and its bonuses are for PvP. So let's see where else we can kind of get it into. We'll see if we can take it into the abyss, but it's really just for PvP, decently situational. Let's put it in B for now. It's a really good ship. Are you going to use it more than these ships? You are. You're going to use these for the abyss and these for more things. So it's technically less usable than these. So we'll put it right here. Can you boosh an anchored ship? Can you boosh a ship that is sieged up? I don't remember that. I'm not sure off the top of my head. So the Flycatcher, true to its name, Interdictors are some of the most used. And in fact, we just put out a guide. We have our series most used ships in EVE. Flycatcher was the most used ship in 90 days in all of EVE Online. It is the GOAT. It is an interdictor is used, and carrier bushes can destroy bush. No, gosh, that's actually really good points. Thank you for that. Why is this ship so used? It's all about this guy right here. The Interdiction Sphere Launcher. True to its name, it's going to, if wherever it is, when it launches it, it makes a bubble around the interdictor that stops warping from occurring. When you say, careful, there's bubbles, what we mean is there's an interdictor dropping stuff. It also does a bunch of damage. Crap tons of damage. Decently tanky and very fast. This is a PvP machine. This ship, my Corp says, train your alts to be an interdictor. Mandatory things. Mandatory. I don't know if it's a part of our rules, but it's a part of the culture. Does that make sense? Interdictors are one of those ships. If you're in an endgame Corp, you must be able to fly them. They are that important. Now we just have to find it on this list. My God, there's the Stork. It's got to be in here because we're just going to say the Cormorant one is it. So where do I put this? This is a usability standpoint. I'm going to put this to A. It's definitely A. Are you going to use it more than Manticores? This is now dependent on how exactly you are going to have your fleet comps do. Is light tackle better than Manticore? I think so, because it's more used. It's better on those various things. Is an interdictor more used than all of these? I mean, quantifiably, yes. You know, I honestly, yeah, this has got to be next to the Buzzard. This is one of the most used ships in EVE. The Saber and the Flycatcher are some of the most used ships in EVE. It's got to be S. It's at the bottom of S. But that is quantifiably one of the most used ships in EVE. This is like useful, and this is like which used, useful. That's how you should read this. So, good job, Flycatcher, coming in. One of the best ships in EVE, truly, the Flycatcher. So, let's start at the top. The Tengu. T3 cruisers have modular pieces. You can build them in near infinite ways. PvP, PvE, scanning, hacking. You can hack in them, hauling. They are a powerhouse and have one of the, this is the only ship I know that rigs will not be destroyed when you unequip them. This is the only one in the game, I think, that you can swap out rigs while you're in space with a mobile depot and it will not destroy this rigs. How many of you have never seen this line before? Type 1 in chat if you've never seen this before. Every T3 cruiser can swap rigs on the fly and it will not destroy the rigs. How many of you did not know this? Type 1 in chat. I want to see it. I want to see it. Okay, so this ship can do it all. It is some of the most fun. I fly a Proteus myself. I'm something of a Proteus enjoyer myself. Y'all didn't know this. Here's what I do with my Proteus. Okay, and this is valid with the Tengu anyway. So I have my stuff. What I will do with my Proteus is I will bring with me different modules. Let me just fit this puppy because I'm just going to show you right now. This is how every T3 cruiser in wormholes fly, for example. In my subsystem bay, T3 cruisers have a dedicated bay to bring more subsystems. You can swap these on the fly. Okay? I typically bring extra subsystems in the bay, and I will bring rigs in the cargo hold to swap out my niche use cases. This Proteus is my wormhole hunter Proteus, blasters galore. I'm actually working on this. I'll show you the fit, but I'm working on this one. It's not on EVE Workbench yet because I'm testing a couple things. So this is gross. That's new. It's the only ship in the game you can do this with. Gross. Ew. It's one of the best ships in the game for its sheer usability. The Tengu, we don't have to think about it. There's no debate. People that say different are objectively wrong. The Tengu is a S tier, top of the top, better than Jackdaw ship without blinking. Without blinking. Every single person under the sound of my voice should look at the top 4 here and say, I must fly those ships. I will fly a T3 cruiser of my choosing. I will fly a T3 destroyer of my choosing. I will fly Tech2 hauling of my choosing. I will do Abyss. I will do exploration with some PvP. If you have 2 of these, you win the game. You can do near infinite content. You know, it's like so much. I cannot stress how good T3 cruisers are, and the Tengu is one of the best ones there is. Definitely go fly the Tengu. Let's talk about the best Logi ship in the game, sub-cap. That's the Basilisk. Why? The Bassi looks nasty with its like, I think of the Jurassic Park, the spitter, you know, when Newman's like, nice doggy, nice doggy. The Basilisk doesn't just heal shields. It doesn't just heal shields better, and its Logi drones do better. It has remote cap buffs. You can cap chain these and they will never be nuded out when they're doing things correctly. They can fit more, do it better, and never run out of mana. My capacitor's empty. What did you expect? The point is, the Basilisk got him. The Basilisk is one of the best ships in the game for Logi, cruiser Logi especially. It's so good that I recommend all of you under the sound of my voice get cruiser Logi to level 5. Because the difference between rank 4 and rank 5 cruiser Logi, most ships are like, I get a little bit of a buff, I don't really feel it. Rank 4 to rank 5 cruiser Logi is the difference between the Basilisk being able to do things for minutes versus tens of minutes. You're basically near invincible as much as you can because you are never safe and Eve when you have multiple Basilisks going on. Too bad it looks like a pizza oven. I don't know what pizza ovens you're going to eat at, my friend. Is everything all right, X-Lost? What kind of restaurants are you being served at that a reptile is going, pizza here, would you like your pizza? And I don't know what he's talking about. You guys see it? I don't take what Papa John's are y'all eating at? What the heck, brother? So the front's the oven slot? Maybe so, maybe so. What should you fly this in? It's better than the Kirin for sure, but it's than the Stork. It's slightly less used than the Stork. It's not that this ship isn't good. Argonians is right, Mafuka. It's not that this ship isn't good, it's that it's not as usable as these other ships. If you're flying Logi, this is S tier ship. It is. But is everybody gonna do that? Probably not. So check this ship out. This is general usability. That's how we're starting with this. We'll do other non-Caldari stuff very, very soon as well. So, right, we have Papa John's at home. Exactly. The next one, the Onyx. I think heavy interdiction cruisers are some of the most slept on ships in the entire game. Look at this behemoth. I love the like asymmetry with the bottom as this like blinking eye. This is one of the thickest looking ships in the entire game. This is not, you can't take the sky from me. This ship is, I'm going to take the sky from you, okay? The Onyx is a gross looking ship. It's really awesome looking. And interdiction cruisers, just like the destroyers, can fly bubbles. Yes, they can do interdiction field generators, but these have a twist. These have scripts. So either you can use a bubble, or it is a dedicated, that person isn't going anywhere button, or that person isn't going anywhere button at range. One of the longest range points in the game, one of the most utility focused ships in the game, massive DPS, and a crap ton of shield. My God, it's 20% tankier than its little brother. The ship is nasty. And if you see an Onyx, you're basically going to see this initiate every single time and not kill it till last. I'm going to drop a fleet on your face kind of ship. This ship is very usable, but it's slow. Because it's so slow, it does not see as much PvE use. You're going to see me try to use this kind of ship in the Abyss and other things. Only 250 MS, very slow on grid speed, slow to warp. It is a thick ship. She got a big booty, so she's hard to get around. Are you going to use an Onyx? You can definitely do the Abyss and an Onyx. We're going to make some guides on that. We're going to show it to you very, very soon. Is it a missile ship? Good. It'll fit in our Omega and Alpha. It's not an Omega ship, but it'll fit in our Omega Abyss series. Let me find this puppy. My God, this is a MOA, I know, but we're going to act like it's the large ship. Okay. The Onyx. Where does it rate on usability for this? I'm going to put this to a low A because it does PvP, it does PvE, it does so many things that you're going to, if you train an interdiction, this is so much bigger. These are the same class of ships. But this ship is way more hard to fly. It's more niche. This one, if you bubble and die, your job is done. This ship is harder to fly. We're going to put it into low A because high B, low A is kind of what I'm thinking. She's dense. Yeah, she's got a thick booty, but that means she do be dense. So we're gonna put the Onyx in low A. Still a great ship, but not as usable as the Interdictor destroyer. With that being said, so speaking of thick ships that look and feel great, the Cerberus and really any of the heavy assault stuff. If it's not clear, the point of this video, the heavy assault frigates and cruisers are some of the best ships in the game, and you should 1000% be using them and going after them first because of their usability. Okay, the Cerberus is one of the only heavy assault cruisers that gets both tank and DPS bonuses. That's a good thing. You want both typically because you want to be able to survive so you can do your sustained damage and you can fit the assault damage control we were talking about before. And your micro warp drive is buffed because you're not going to, this means that you're not going to be as easy to hit as other ships using a micro warp drive. That's all that means. The Cerberus can do PvE. We have our Cerberus Abyss video where we literally print hundreds of millions of ISK an hour with our Cerberus. It is a great ship. It is a very usable ship. It is a ship that when you fly, you will not regret it. Where should we put it? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a high A ship. I don't think this is an S tier ship because not everybody should do it, but it gets my highest accolades possible from an A tier ship. And I think that's where this goes. High A. High A. So right next to the Tengu. No, because not everybody is going to be flying this ship. Everybody's going to fly Tengu, Jackdaw, Crane, Bustard, Hawk. Not everybody is going to be flying a Cerberus. It really does. You need to be good at it in order to do it. That's why it's high A. I agree with you, Link. It's as good as the Tengu. But this is not a good ship. This is a usability tier list. What is easier to use? Because you can use every Eve ship. But how useful are they? That's what it is. Yeah, Evan, thank you. If you haven't yet, chat, say hi, YouTube. Cerberus coming in really, really good. Let's check out Eagle. Very similar ship to the Cerberus. But just like we've seen, a really odd looking ship. I don't love how that, I like the Onyx better. The Eagle has just got these like really weird frills on the side. The railgun focused and the blaster focused ships, the medium hybrid turrets here. On the, you saw this on the Harpy. You saw this on the other Caldari ships. It's like missiles, guns, missiles, hybrid turrets. This ship is a solid fleet ship, but it is not as good as the Gila. It's not as usable as the Gila because hybrid turrets are harder to hit. You can still do assault damage control. Still got some micro warp drive buff. But because its shield bonus, again, is not as strong, the Cerberus got shield heal buff. Yes, shield boost amount. The Cerberus is the big brother to the Hawk, essentially, right? And the Eagle is the big brother to the Harpy. That is literally what this is. They both have the same things, just in different things. It's not that this ship is bad. It's that this ship is more niche. This is a solid railgun optimal range. Means this is going to be, you can do blasters and shoot them pretty far with blasters, or you can do railguns. Something I would like to fly this ship more, honestly, and show you how the good old-fashioned rails work, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do, give me some hybrid turret, show me railguns, give me mediums, okay? Let's go to 250s, 65 if I don't use this, but if I use spike ammo, we're shooting within 100. You get 10 of these, 15 of these, you're sniping people. They're not going to get to you in time. And that's without me doing any other fits. You can get within 200. Correct, Link. With good tracking, good DPS, the Eagle is a really solid fleet snipe platform and is an excellent ship, but harder to fly because of the skill ceiling that comes with hybrid turrets. Where do we put the Eagle? On that, it actually is the Eagle on this. We're gonna put it similar to I'm thinking we put this below the Stork because I've never flown it in. It can do Abyss though. It can do the Abyss. Do we put it to the top of B? Low C? I don't think it's C for sure. It's more usable It's more usable than the Stork because it has PvE and PvP components. The Stork is mostly PvP. I think high B is correct. I prefer Naga for sniping, yes, but that's more expensive. This is part of the conversation. So the Naga can definitely hit farther out for sure. Naga is, and the Rock. Don't even get me started on the freaking Rock, dude. The Rock is incredible stuff. So Eagle, looking good at high B. I think that's where we put it. Here we go. Recon ships, y'all. Ooh. Recon ships are weird and very intriguing. I'm going to give you a sec to read what that says yourself. Did you see it? The Rook cannot be seen on D-scan ever. It just isn't on D-scan. How many of you didn't know this? Type 1 in chat if you did not know this was in the game. The Rook, it just lands on you and you're like, where the hell did this ship come from? I've been spamming D-scan. Shocker, you can't see it. It's a daggum ghost. True stealth ship, Tom DeBear. That's amazing. Yeah, we have to end this because my tech is overheating because my AC unit died. My tech is overheating. So we're gonna push forward. We're gonna be here. Thank you for being here while I'm sweaty and while it's working, but pray for me because my AC unit died. We might have to, it's a big house expense. We own the house. So and don't donate me money, chat. Just watch the videos and use my affiliate code. That's how you can support the channel. Don't give me money. Just do what you will. Okay, sheesh. So we're good. Wife and I are good. Yeah, my AC unit literally died. It's 85 degrees in the room I'm inside. It's 85 degrees in this room. So well, let's finish this so my stuff doesn't keep overheating. So the Rook is interesting because you cannot be detected by D-scan. It's super hot in here, chat. Sheesh. It also is an ECM ship with a bite. It does missile damage. These ships are almost exclusively PvP ships. And because of that, they're not super used, but they are really, really good. But they are very situational. So we're gonna put the Rook in a high C because it's very used as a I'm gonna go get you forward scout. But really, that's it. It jams stuff, it locks stuff, it kills. Not quite a solo ship, exactly. You need a fleet comp for it to work. It's high C, very situational. That's that. Now, the Rook has no D-scan. The Falcon can be found on D-scan, but is a covert ops cloak. This is a Sino ship. This is similar to the Smart Bomber, cloak delay has been reduced, and it can fit turrets, not missiles, turrets, and can ECM jam. This is another inting ship, not a solo ship, but still is a incredible PvP platform. And if you see a Falcon on D-scan, you go, we good? Same vibes with the Buzzard. That's the Falcon. Okay, so these ships are very niche. The Falcon is used. These are both interchangeable, honestly. Falcon, Rook. They're both so situational that they're only going to really be used in PvP. Blops Hunter, correct, exactly. So not super used, but very useful ships nonetheless. Wow, chat. That's going to do it for this. My tech is overheating because my AC unit died and we have to carry forward. We're going to cover the rest of those T2 ships in another video. Bigger ships coming down the pipe. If you want our most used ships, our most valuable ships in EVE, and understand how you can fly and what your skill points should be pointing towards, that's this playlist right here. Check out that playlist. And if you want the best EVE guides, sub right here. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.